side and I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe that, or I'm coming for it full blast. With the champagne, better pour me up a full glass, cause we celebrating for the future in the making, and we gon' make it. Whether or not we gotta take it, then we'll break it up together, cause
I'm on my grind all of the time. I'm on my grind all of the time.
we on the grind, we on the grind, we on the grind,
All of the time.
we on the grind, we on the grind, we on the grind.
All of the time.
Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate.
Back in your computer screens. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It has. We're back, baby. Took a week off to perfect some things. The banner is here. That's Josh Imola. I'm Rob Battler. You were just listening to Kelly Maloney on my grind. Stream that on Spotify right now. Welcome to another banging, jam-packed episode of Beyond the Gloves and Tape, your favorite podcast on Twitch, live every other Friday. Josh, it's been a minute. It feels way too long. We're never going to go that long again. I'm so sorry. Mostly for me. I missed you guys. I missed this whole studio. Josh, how the hell have you been?
Unreal. We got tons of shit to talk about. There's so much
Where do we
combat
even
news.
start, dude? We just had a press conference the other day with Mr. Tyson Fury.
Yeah, and he looks
Pretty good.
Looks ready.
Looks pretty
ready.
freaking good.
So
We have a crap load of news to talk about. We are a little late to the party, but we're going to talk about Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley.
what's next?
What's next for both of them? Is there going to be a tattoo? I hope not. We're going to talk about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. We're going to talk about wrestling. There's been lots of big news this week. We're going to talk about Cyril Gane versus Francis Ngannou, officially announced. T Ortiz and Anderson Silva are fighting in 2021. We're going to talk about that. That's happening tomorrow night. Peter Belfort, Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, what happened with that pullout?
Crazy. We're talking about it all. But first, a word from our sponsors. Do you guys like making money? I like making money. Josh, do you like making money?
All the time, my friend.
Well, then you should hit up Charlie Cover Sports Advisors on Instagram and give them a hashtag BTGAT for 30% off any pick package you want. You can get for the year, the month, the week, whatever you want. Whatever you're feeling, you want to just test the waters, do it.
You want just a week?
Just
Let's just get a week.
Get a week. Test it out. See how it works for you. If
Win
you
some
like
money,
it,
come back.
if you like it, it might be your new go-to to make some money. We love it. We love Charlie Carver Sports Advisors, and I'm sure you will too.
Well,
Let's go.
Let's get it into the show.
Where do we start? Well, I guess we should start with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, because we're a little late to that party, aren't we?
We are, but at the same time, there's not much to talk about. The scorecards were what they were, and it went to decision.
Yeah.
Could Tyler have stopped him? Yes. Did he stop because he was worried? Yes.
It's just, I think it's, for me, hearing this, I didn't like the post-fight interview. For starters, that was my biggest problem. He said, well, I got finished by my last few times from going all out, and look what happened. No, that was MMA. That was against the best of the best. You're facing Jake Paul. You could have put him out, but instead you were gun shy, and you thought you had it in the bag.
Let's walk around.
Threw no punches. I could have gave the argument for either or. Like, yeah, maybe Tyron won with the pressure and he clearly had the biggest moment in the fight, but Jake was doing some work, and Jake had a lot. Like, he was pretty much dominating the early fight, and then he kind of cardio failed him a little bit.
Yeah, he just gave up and
was the most entertaining fight I've ever seen. If you're a Jake Paul fan, you're walking away from that. You're like, wow, and that guy wants to fight Canelo?
Yeah.
You know 100%. What I mean? Like, that's just me. I don't like it. Yeah, what's next for Jake Paul? Anyone he wants. Basically, what's next for Tyron Woodley? Hopefully Jake Paul, that's for him. He wants a payday, but it just seems a little thirsty to me. Like, literally begging to get a tattoo of another dude's name on him just to punch him in the face again. Like, you had your opportunity to punch him in the face, but you just walked around.
It didn't even feel like he wants to fight him again. It was more like, get the tattoo so I can make fun of you that you got it.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't think
I'm
Jake's.
not gonna fight you.
I don't think Jake's ever gonna fight him again. And I think
Like,
this is all just really embarrassing for Tyron at this point.
Yeah, you didn't beat him. You let him go the distance. It's
And
like
now
you should have finished him.
And now you're trying to get another man's tattoo on you.
And the worst
Yourself.
part, the worst part I feel like is the aftermath of people saying, "Oh, you got paid to not finish him." Like when he was on the ropes, it's like I've seen so many stories of people saying, "Well, if you had the chance, why didn't you finish him? Did you get paid not to?"
Those people
like,
don't watch
man.
Tyron Woodley fights because this
on.
is the same Tyron Woodley that we've had a problem with for the last 4 years since he
He
fought
could've
Steven.
finished- Yeah, he could have finished Wonder Boy, but
Yeah.
back when, why did he do that?
Because he's the same guy. He's a gun shy. He doesn't put you out in one shot. He's very content just backing up against the fence.
But in his defense, yeah, he's won some fights by doing that. But other fights that he gets to you, he goes in for the kill. Like the Robbie Lawler fight.
Oh yeah,
that was a different beast. He hadn't tasted gold before, and he had the gold right in front of his face, and he's like, "Well, I just gotta go do it."
Josh Koscheck. These are all before the title. You're right, 100%.
Oh, like, I got the gold. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I got
No,
more.
that's it.
I got to go about my rap career. It's like fuck off, dude.
A terrible rap career,
If
might
you
I add.
want the game, go and get the game.
Yeah.
Don't just shy away from trying to get the game.
Since we're talking about rap, though, did you hear? Like, okay, I don't even want to be that guy, but because it's blowing up and everyone's talking about it. But did you hear Certified Lover Boy anything?
No.
Dude, there's this. I'm not a huge Drake fan. I'm not trying to stand out, but there's this bar in there with the Lil Wayne and Rick Ross song. He's I forgot how it ends or the whole thing, but it ends like don't talk to me about relaxing. I'm actually Michael Jackson because the man I see in the mirror is actually going platinum. I just can't get it out of my head. Like it's fucking fantastic.
It is a good line.
Yeah,
who's he trying to create beef with if you're gonna try it? Like
I
wouldn't start with the boss, man.
Oh no,
the boss has been on another level. Like Idols Become Your Rivals, one of my favorite songs right now.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Another one is oh man, what's Ace Hood's song there?
Oh, the Ace Hood. Yeah.
1 minute, yeah, because Ace Hoods took a shot at him too.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're all taking shots at what's his name, Birdman. To whom it may concern.
Yeah. Okay.
That was fire.
I'll just say that song, the Michael Jackson reference, was just so good. I loved it. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's a shot at fucking Birdman.
Yeah.
Everybody's hating on Birdman because he didn't pay Lil Wayne, but that's for the whole story other than this because we start talking about music, we ain't gonna stop over here.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I'm just anyway, yeah. Tyron Woodley has not been there for me, and I'm not entirely surprised that he couldn't get the job done. I'm just saying that right now.
I am actually surprised. I'm gonna lay some truth down. I'm surprised he did not finish him. A couple reasons why. Jake had in about 4 or 5 different circumstances not necessarily like left himself open, but Tyron could have just took the shot and Jake would not have known how to react. Jake has fought slow guys. Tyron is fucking fast, man. He's got fast hands, and you don't want to let your guard down. And he let his guard down a few times, and Tyron just didn't take the shot. And if he did take that shot and threw an overhand, I don't think Jake would have been awake after it. Yeah, the gloves are bigger, but at the same time, Tyron still hits like a truck.
Yeah, you're right. I thought Jake boxed really well throughout
He
the
did
first
box-
four. For the
he
first
did
4
box
rounds.
well,
Until
but
his
at the same
cardio failed
time-
him, I thought he was looking pretty good.
At the same time, I did see his guard come down at quite a few where he didn't feel confident doing what he wanted.
Especially when he got hit. I feel like after he got hit and cracked into between the ropes, his whole game plan changed.
It was like, okay, now I've got to survive like my brother survived against
exactly.
Floyd.
It was more like a survival more than I'm going to go kill this dude.
Yeah.
But right before that, before the shot, I thought he was dominating. He was looking great. He was landing the 1-2. He was fucking working the jab. He wasn't running, but he was evading. If that makes sense. Like he wasn't.
Well, it does make sense.
He wasn't there to be hit.
At the same time, it felt like they were both kind of trying to understand who each other were, and at the same time, Tyron wasn't trying to understand who Jake was. He was trying to understand what the boxing ring feels like in real life.
And also,
especially of that pressure.
It's totally a different sport, man. A lot of in the UFC, you go for it and you go for the knockout and you try to kill him. In boxing, that's not the game.
You can't. You gotta pick them apart.
It's literally the point of boxing is literally to hit somebody and not get hit. So like, you know what I mean? That's why MMA fighters are always gonna be a step behind because they don't even half the time. And like Anderson Silva really got this. Like, he really got this, and he picked up great against his
But
last fight.
we got to admit one thing, though. Silva is a great comparison to show MMA how slow you have to be
Oh yeah,
great
but he got it though. Like a lot of these guys, like Conor McGregor, for example, he goes in, I'm gonna land one shot and put Floyd out. Look, you're probably not even gonna hit Floyd, and the fact that you think you're just gonna bum rush anybody, that's not the game of boxing. The game of boxing is the sweet science. I want to hit jab, work behind my jab, and set things up. There's none of that from these MMA fighters, and I love MMA, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's apples and oranges, or it's apples and apples when it's really two completely different sports. You know what I mean? And that's when Tyron really didn't understand. I don't feel like Tyron really grasped that knowledge. When you really sit down and break it down, it's completely different than MMA, and it's not even the same at all.
It is and it isn't.
Well,
because
yeah.
if we
You're throwing
gotta
punches.
compare apples to oranges, we can only compare sour apples to sour apples and great apples to great apples. When you look at Silva and then you look at the way he boxes and the way he fights at MMA,
It's different.
It's what I feel like his striking is the same.
A little bit, but it's still
But
different.
he
Like,
is a great boxer inside of an MMA cage.
Yeah.
He understands the flow and the science
and he knows
of the game.
he knows how to work behind the jab. He knows how to set things up.
Yeah.
But like that's
He knows timing.
Exactly. If you understand boxing, then then you're not gonna go in and try to kill somebody. It'll be there if you work for it, if you set it up over time, and maybe you won't get it, but you'll box very well that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. But at the same time, we got to think about guys like Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, and then you look at guys like Conor and Anderson. I actually have to give Conor props for props is due. He landed the most shots ever against Floyd Mayweather that any opponent has ever landed against him.
But he's
He
still a little
did it
reckless. No head movement.
Yeah, it was very reckless and little head movement, but at the same time...
He looks stiff, in my opinion, for a boxer.
Yeah, and he did look stiff, but he went 12 rounds, and he did get knocked out.
But to be fair, Conor really, like, the head movement in MMA is that much different because you really can't, like, you have to use your whole thing. Like, in MMA, it's all subtle. It's subtle because you judge the distance differently. You know what I mean?
And it's more dependent, like,
So, like,
boxing is more dependent on your head movement, but in MMA, you got to think it's more dependent on your arm movement because your arms can stop a lot of damage.
Yeah.
If you think a front kick's coming, and you know it's a front kick, you're going to ball up to block it with your hands or your arms. Whereas if a head kick's coming, you're tucking your elbow down and putting your hand up.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it's actually a head kick or a check kick coming to your chest, you have a block and you can still tuck. And that way it's only kicking
it's
and
like just a completely different sport, and and that's why, like, these MMA fighters they block like that when they're coming up high. Like, they'll be like this instead of being like this. You know what I mean? And
100%. And
that's what's getting these guys into trouble. You see Conor McGregor got finished that way. You see, like,
your equilibrium is wide open.
Tyron Woodley was like that all night long. Ben Askren, like, the list goes on and on. These MMA fighters are coming over thinking that I strike very well in the MMA cage against these top-level athletes. Why can't I do it against these guys?
And you got to think, too, it's kind of like... I'm going to compare it to a video game, for example, because if we're on Twitch and people play a lot of video games on here, so it's easier to compare it like this. It's like you're playing Halo guns to then playing Call of Duty guns. You have two different mechanisms and way of shooting. And, like, if you look at a boxer will hit you in the chin, the equilibrium, or the temple. Mm-hmm. Whereas an MMA fighter, 90.9% of the chance, it's going to be a jaw shot that's going to put you to sleep. They're not going for your equilibrium. Sometimes it's the temple, but at the most part, it's that jaw that usually puts you to sleep. And in boxing, the best way you could describe it is the biggest two upsets in boxing history came from an equilibrium shot.
Andy Ruiz.
What's the fucking other guy's name that fought Tyson?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man. Buster Douglas.
Yes.
Buster Douglas hit him with a right hand in the equilibrium right in the center of the top of the skull, and it's like that's where boxing in the different exchanges on the actual head itself is so different and so much where you said it with the blocking, your hands have to be up, and with MMA you're kind of down, and that's a dangerous spot to get hit. Like you're going You're going to see like massive stars, Duckies, fucking Donald Duck.
And that's why I'm telling you right now, Jake Paul has an advantage, and not just Jake Paul. Anyone that understands the sweet science has an advantage over all these MMA guys coming over to their sport. They just do. I mean, George Masvidal is unless he really dedicates his time and he knows what he's talking about, he's gonna get beat up.
He will.
He will. Jake Paul will embarrass him.
And I don't see Dana releasing him at any point.
I hope
in time.
not.
And
I hope not.
Like, he won't release him. He'll just
I
give
guess
him away. But at the same time, I don't think he gives him away under the UFC banner while he's still there, with that chance that he loses. Because if I'm Dana and you lose to Jake, I wouldn't fucking let you go in there.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, these MMA fighters, these UFC stars, they need to stay in their lane.
But at the same time,
I don't want to see Tyron Woodley back.
I will say this.
Anderson Silva is a rare
I
exception.
feel terrible saying that, yeah, they should stay in their lane, but at the same time, if Tyron made more money on that one fight than his whole UFC career, and he was a 7-time champion, then you know what? Props to him for going out to get his payday that he deserves so fucking much. Yeah. He definitely deserved that payday.
But there are MMA stars that take it. Like, who's that one kid in PFL that goes back and forth? Clay Collard. He's a pro boxer, and he literally knows how to box. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So, like, when I say that these MMA guys need to stay in their lane, I'm not saying every MMA guy. I'm saying there are guys like Anderson Silva.
Learn your science first.
Julio Chavez Jr. He outboxed him. Anderson Silva did. It almost sounds crazy to say, but he did, and he did it because he understands how to box.
It's like you got to understand the science before you go and just decide we're gonna do this.
Conor doesn't know how to box. Let's just put he knows how to box amateur, but he does not know how to box against the Manny Pacquiaos of the world, the Floyd Mayweathers of the world, the Canelos of the world. These guys will kill him.
I would love to see Conor fight a guy in his weight class that's up and coming right now in boxing, and let's actually give Conor a shot here, because that fight against Floyd was good in my opinion, and I fucking enjoyed every minute of it.
I think the ego is just too much for him, because he's had too much success inside the cage, where it's hard, man. Like, it's hard to switch up your style, and that's what you're gonna have to do. Like, you can't be the normal Conor McGregor that we see if you're gonna be successful in the squared circle, and it's the vice versa. You can't be the Floyd Mayweather we're gonna see if you're gonna be that way in the octagon. You know what I mean? It's not gonna work. It just doesn't. It's two completely different. Anyway, let's move on. Tommy Fury looked great. Everyone's been giving him shit. Fuck those people. Tommy Fury, I thought you boxed great.
I don't know about that.
Oh, here we go. I knew this guy.
I didn't know about that. I was so...
You're disappointed. Why?
I was so disappointed in the fact that he looked the part, acted the part, and then when it got down to the brass tacks, I felt like he was gun shy, worse than Tyron.
Maybe, definitely, but he still boxed well.
He boxed okay. He didn't box well.
Dominated.
It was opponent picked. I would like to see him fight.
He boxed
Logan
down.
Paul.
He boxed down to that dude. Or Jake Paul. Right?
Jake Paul, no.
You don't want to see Jake Paul.
I don't want to see Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, and this is the reason I'm about to give you.
You think Jake Paul beat Tommy Fury?
I don't think it's a good matchup for either one of them, because it makes them both look like fucking idiots. They're not the same size at all.
Yeah.
Logan's the same size as Tommy. Height-wise, distance, speed, everything is the same. When you go to Jake Paul, Jake's got 10 inches shorter than him. His reach is fucking 5 inches shorter than him. And Jake's
Tommy's a big dude.
Jake is not ready for that fight. And I will say this.
Tommy will be
when they asked him about Tommy Fury afterwards, he kind of laughed at the fact, but in the back of his mind, he knows that's a matchup nightmare against him.
Pick me apart. He's just going to do what he just did tonight. And it just looked the exact same. And you know what? I disagree with you. I thought Tommy picked his spots. I thought he did very well. I thought he picked his punches. I thought he worked his angles. He sat behind the jab. He got in and out of harm's way. Maybe he ran a little bit, but hey.
I didn't feel like he ran. I just felt he was too green.
Too green?
He's too green to be thinking about the big deal.
He didn't eat too many big shots, though. I thought he looked good.
He didn't eat any big shots.
Yeah, he looked good.
And he did look okay, but I guess I'm only saying he looked okay because it was 4 rounds. I wish I could see more.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because if we see him in the 5th and 6th, maybe he's stronger. He comes out
faster. He gets his groove going.
Comes out Like, okay, I got
'Cause
only two more rounds to do this.
That's interesting, because I thought in the fourth round he did look like he was starting to get his rhythm a little bit more.
Exactly what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm like, did you just like?
But to that point, if your opponent's not like, because he was clearly trying to counter it. He was jabbing. He set up the jab very well.
And then waiting for him to come back at it. I understand.
Yeah,
Like,
if it was
that's
a different
also opponent picking, right?
Exactly, but if it was a different guy, maybe he gets the finish. Maybe it's a little more exciting of a fight. I thought there was nothing wrong with that, though. I thought like just working behind your jab, there can be a lot of benefits to that.
Listen, I don't want to keep hyping these two up because they don't deserve any hype, but I gotta say
Tommy
it
Fury
because
did a little bit. I mean, Tom
no,
Fury's pretty good.
I don't mean Tommy Fury, but at the
okay.
same time, all these guys that are coming up like this, you know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of calling Jake what he is. He's not no YouTube star anymore. This guy's been doing it for 2.5 years.
He's a good boxer. He's a good boxer.
He's a boxer now. I'm going to call him a boxer.
Dude,
he deserves it.
I've been saying that for a long time, that he's a good
Jake
boxer.
is an entertainer. But at the same time, he has trained boxing for a very long time, just as long as Jake.
If he keeps fighting these MMA guys, he's going to keep winning.
I think, personally, it should be Logan versus Tommy. And the couple reasons I say this is because the height and everything matches up. It's a good matchup for Tommy to go 8 rounds with Logan.
I think Tommy would kill him, though. And he might put him out, too. Because Tommy has
he,
way better cardio than Logan.
And see, who's put Logan out?
Yeah.
Logan fought Floyd fucking Mayweather. And
Yeah.
Floyd didn't put him out.
I guess. Yeah.
I think you fight Tommy 8 rounds and see if Tommy can put you out. If Tommy puts you out,
yeah.
I'll give Tommy his props. And then you've got to think about this.
But Floyd is a lot smaller.
Jake is gonna want that fight so bad. You beat my brother, I'm gonna beat your ass, and you're gonna show. I'm gonna show him the more superior brother.
And you can do your own pay-per-view with those two too. Like, just,
100%. You could do your own pay-per-view with fucking Logan and Tommy for fuck's sake.
You can put him on a Showtime undercard too. Like you could put him in pretty much anywhere you want.
I don't even think Showtime would fuck with an undercard with those two. I think they put him on the main event.
Maybe, but you like behind like a Canelo or something like that'd be a banging card. That's what I'm saying though. Like that would be a card, like a good card.
Holy shit!
If you put that on any title fight, like a Teofimo or like any title fight you want, that's a good card. That's a really good card, dude.
See, I wish it was a really good card, but at the same time, you got to think of Showtime being money hungry, and they'll separate the fuck out of Canelo and Logan because they don't want that. Yeah. They don't want that just.
Oh no, I'm not saying just Canelo, but I'm saying like anyone. Like look across the board, like any big star. You put Logan on an undercard. Logan's gonna sell it, bro.
And see, this is the point where I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to be a dick rat here or anything like that, but you got to look at numbers, and I think Logan and Jake are those two that, and even
I'm just a purist. I'm just like I really am. Like I don't like these guys getting the main event over any title shot.
I hear you. Like, I hear you. But at the same time, it's like they're getting the money for boxing. Then you know what? Let them bring these guys in and. Yeah. Give them their paydays, man.
I want to see Tommy fight like better guys, though. Like maybe just forget about the Pauls, both of them for right now. Let's put them on the back burner.
Yeah.
Like, let's just fight some better guys. Like let's just get a little better. You know what I mean? And then just keep working your craft, dude. Like there's lots of money to be made out there. Lots of great fighters to be made out there. Like lots of great fights to be made. Rather,
I want to know who he fights next. That's the big fucking deal, right?
I'm the minority. I get it, but I thought Tommy boxed well. I thought the jab looked great.
Yeah.
The jab did look great. The footwork was great. The head movement was great. I thought he looked good.
He just didn't have a dancing partner then. Yeah, you know what? That's what it feels like after we can sit down and break it down. And you know what? He didn't have a dancing partner. It was only 4 rounds, so we didn't get to see him get into a groove to start working his jab to a full effect.
From what we've seen, I thought he looked pretty good. It has a lot to do with dance partner. If he was clearly looking to counter him, thinking he was going to come in after the jab or outside the jab, and he just wasn't.
You could see that feel out process a little bit into the round 1. It ended when he started to throw that jab, and what you say is like he's trying to bait him, and it's like that's why you're not going after him right away.
But at the same time, he's cool with that because he knows, all right, you don't want to bite. I'm just going to keep punching you. I don't give a fuck, and I'm going to keep working. Like my feet look great, and he must know that. Like he looked crisp. And he had that little, I think it was in round 3, he did that little side step, he smiled at him, he was just like, oh yeah, he's feeling it right now. Like, he's got the footwork on point tonight. Like,
it's just, you pray that those kind of fights are a little bit longer to give a good...
Oh yeah, no, I would, like, it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe this was supposed to be like a 6-7 round fight originally.
Yeah, it was supposed to be I think that's why I was so disappointed.
The commission decided to cut it down last minute because they didn't like it, the opponent. And I get it. But still, man... Tommy Fury needs to fight a better guy because I thought he looked great and give me 7 rounds, 8 rounds of Tommy Fury and I'm gonna be so happy because he fucking boxes great, dude. He's undefeated. Get this kid a fucking plate.
I want to see Tommy fight some good competition and then and we'll retake this, because if he gets a good 8-round fight under his belt, it's like the scouts in football, right? You kind of gotta take tit for tat and be like, you know what, you only seen 2 quarters, we'll come back, check another quarter out, just because we only seen 2 quarters. That's not kind of fair.
Oh, well, moving on. I seen this list that Shale put out the other day on ESPN. I'm really interested in what your list would be.
Okay.
Top 5 middleweights in UFC history. I'm pretty sure we all know 1, 2, 3, but I want to see who your 4 and 5 might be, and I'll give you mine. Go, just off the top of your head, nothing like extensive. Just like who comes to your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just trying to remember that weight class.
Like any all time. Like Evan Tanner was there at some point. At one point,
Yeah.
I mean, like
Okay,
Rich
so
Franklin.
that was... All right.
Anderson, obviously.
Top of the list for middleweights would be Silva.
Yeah.
100%. After him, this is tough because I don't want to be biased when I say this. I want to say Whittaker, but at the same time, I
And
feel
you can say Whittaker, dude. Like he has
but
a
at the
career,
same time,
dude.
I would have him right beside Adesanya. Like,
And that's fine. Like they're both really good.
they're both there for me. I feel like they're both at 2, and then my third would
Well, 4th, because it has to be one of those. So you
Yeah,
could just
so-
fluctuate. So,
put him there. But
you're saying 1, 2, 3 could go either way, like on
yeah,
any
it
given
could
Sunday.
go
Yeah,
either
okay.
way.
I'm with that. That's
Those
cool.
two are fucking dominant, and
So then-
I don't think it's going to be anybody other than those two for a little bit.
Oh, I believe that.
Other middleweight. Oof.
All time. See, the lightweight would have been easier, but I didn't want to fucking give you too easy of a time. You know what I mean?
Lightweight would have been a lot harder for me because there's a lot more.
Yeah, I guess. True.
I'm going to have to say it, now I'm going to regret saying this, but I have to put a beast in there as Paulo Costa. Like,
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't see that coming.
the guy, his only loss was to
It's your 4th, too. He's not even just made
Adesanya.
it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
Wow,
he's
he's
a
in there.
That's a dominant man right
He's in
there.
there
It's a
for you.
dominant man.
'Cause
I was
he-
going to put him at 5, but I'm trying to think anybody to put past him. It's like, you know what?
He's not even on my list, so that actually surprises the hell out of me. Like,
He's a
wow.
fucking beast.
And I
man.
get that.
I wouldn't fucking... Nobody wanted to sign that contract.
Absolutely,
You,
yeah, no.
You could have heard... You asked Dana White, anybody that wanted to fight him. There's only 2, 3
Like, he's
men that wanted
he's
to fight
up there
him.
for me, but I couldn't put him in there because of the title. But anyway, who's your 5th? See, I cheated. I have some time to think. I had time to think about this question, so like I'm gonna be like, I'm a little iffy.
This one's hard because it's who you leave out right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
I have
It's
2 names in my head right now,
It's hard.
and I don't want to say them both because one of them doesn't believe I should say it, because then it's going to be like, why are you thinking about him? When
Yeah. No, I get you. Who you got though? Just
Chael Sonnen or Chris Weidman. And you
Okay.
know what? I
Yeah.
kind of got to give Chael his due diligence.
he fought tougher guys, 100%.
He fought a lot tougher guys. His only real
I feel like-
losses were to Silva.
Yeah, and
so.
I feel like the toughest guy that Chris Weidman ever fought was Luke Rockhold, and look how that ended up. Dominated him. You know what I mean? Like, so he faced a fucking 37-year-old Silva. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't the same Anderson.
Yeah, I put Chael Sonnen in there, honest to God.
I get that.
And you know what? Yeah, I have to put Costa in there because I feel like if Costa went in there against Chael Sonnen, he would fucking smash him.
Yeah.
And if Costa goes in there against Adesanya or Whittaker, it's what happened to him against Adesanya. I feel what happened against Costa. And if Silva went in there with any of those 4 men in his prime, you're fucking all going to lose, I think.
Okay, well. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva, clearly number
Yeah.
1. Okay? Like, it's not even questioned. The title defense king. Well, other than Demetrius Johnson, but, like,
Yeah, we're at middleweight here, yeah.
go. Okay, so that's 1. 2, not even on your list, buddy. Rich motherfucking Franklin. He was the GOAT back in the day, and I don't forget. Rich Franklin's right there. Izzy, he might be a 2 in a couple of months, maybe a couple of years. Not yet. He's really good, though. I love Izzy. He's right there. And I do believe he'll be 1 or 2 eventually. But right now, it's Rich Franklin for me, and I stand by that. He's fucking had more title defenses, and he was a fucking dominant champion.
I think the only reason I didn't put Rich in there was because his light heavyweight career ruined it for me.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Anderson pretty worked him, too. Anderson really worked his chin.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was just, that light heavyweight career did it for me.
Number 4, Robert Whittaker. He's amazing. Isn't he amazing? He's just
quick,
so good.
Elusive.
And you know what? He can beat Izzy on like the right night. If he gets the right takedown, he gets the right shot.
He's gotta be.
He's gotta be perfect.
Enough.
He's gotta be perfect. No mistake. Anyway, number 5. This is gonna shock you. Evan Tanner, rest in peace. One of the first middleweight champions of the new UFC era. I thought he was really, really good back in the day. Him and Rich had freaking wars.
I don't want to put dirt on the guy's name or anything like that, but I'm not trying to put my list on fire or anything. But if I'm thinking Paulo Costa versus Evan Tanner, who do you honestly think?
You know, what time frame are we going in? Because
both in their prime.
Because I don't think
both in their prime.
Because you got to remember, Evan Tanner can take a shit kicking, and I don't think Paulo Costa can after the Israel fight. After the Israel fight, you got
that man put up a good fucking fight against that man. That was a 5-round war.
Wait, Israel? No, Israel finished him like the second, third round, first round against Paulo Costa.
Did he?
Yeah, he dominated him, dude, and that's when he got on his ass and like looked like he was raping him and like was fucking.
Oh yeah.
He like, made him look silly.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think and Evan Tanner would be able to take that shot. That's what I'm saying. Like in his prime, Evan Tanner was a fucking animal, and he would just go for the takedown.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah, so, I thought he went the distance.
No. After that fight, I think I would take Evan Tanner in his prime. I would. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah. Evan Tanner's had the gold, and he's he's battle tested.
I agree.
He can take the shots.
Yep, I agree.
But anyway, I like your list. That was a good list. That's not bad. I'm not bad at Paulo Costa. He's still good. I just thought Evan Tanner deserves a love.
I was about to look up, trying to think of old-timey names, because you got me on the spot there and blanked.
I know I would do it. I'm gonna do that again later when we fantasy book our AEW versus WWE match. And you know I already got my teams, so... Well, I don't, actually, but I know a pool. I know enough that I'm just gonna wing it. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, good luck doing that.
What?
If you would have did lightweight, I would have been here for a fucking year, dude.
Yeah.
Let's just list a couple names off here in the lightweight division. Starting with Khabib, Connor, Tony, Frankie, Dustin Poirier, BJ Penn, Gaethje, Dos Anjos, Diaz, Cerrone, Pettis, Alvarez, Benson Henderson, Edson Barboza, Mark Chandler, Clay Guida. And if you don't have Clay Guida in your top 5, get the fuck out of here.
He might not be in my top. Okay, how about this? I'll give you 2 weeks to think about it, because next podcast, let's do that. Top 5 MMA or lightweights ever.
I think I could do it right now. I think I could do it right now.
I don't think I could. Let's do it. Let's do this list once a podcast. Next week will be lightweights. The week after that will be welterweights. The week after that, let's do flyweights. Yeah. We'll just throw it out there. Whatever we want to do on any given night.
And then you text me, and I'll get us set up ready to go on here, and we can pop them up.
Heavyweight will be fun because
it'll be easy though.
Oh, but will it though? Because there's been a lot of like other organization fighters on the planet, like Fedor and shit. Like you got.
Okay, so here
heavyweight will be the only one that's not UFC dominant. Let's just say that. Maybe not.
It might change by this, but this is my prediction for my 5. Ready? Stipe.
Oh, he's number 1 for me too.
Kane.
Fedor's 2 for me.
Fedor was 3 for me.
Yeah, Kane's 3.
I have to put Kane at 2 because he's
Kane.
The UFC most dominant champion.
Yeah.
4. Yeah. And you're going to hate me for saying this one, but it has to be DC.
I like DC at heavyweight.
He was undefeated until he got to Stipe.
You could say that. Like Junior Dos Santos is right there for me too, but like he only got a couple of title defenses in.
Number 5. Randy Couture.
Yeah, no, that's a fire pick.
Beast.
That's a fire pick.
That was a little beast. I think that's going to be my 5, but it might fluctuate, change.
We'll get there. Next week, our next podcast, the lightweight rankings. We're gonna do it all the time. It's gonna be fun. We'll do it until we run out of fucking things to talk about or things to do. Well, we won't run
out of shit because then we'll just think of the most bloody fights and. Then,
we'll move on. We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Yeah, we'll rank something every week. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. The Usman Colby's coming. Or Usman Colby was announced, and then we had. Let's just talk about the new announced fights. Why don't we do that? Colby versus Usman's gonna be really fun. The first fight was amazing. The second fight's probably gonna be just as good. And then on the flip side, you have Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou that was just announced, and you already know what you're getting in that one. You're either getting a pick apart, wait for your shot, Cyril Gane, which could easily happen because he hasn't been hit yet, or you could get a brutal knockout. So
you can send him into orbit like he did to fucking
Overeem. Knockout of the century.
Holy shit! You fucking only man's brain to get put into space while he's still in the fucking earth.
Yeah.
This weekend is Anthony Smith's fucking free card at the Apex. Anthony Smith's fight Span. Derek Clark. There's a lot of light heavyweights in there.
That won't be a very good card, I don't think, though.
There's a lot of bangers. I think there's the heavyweight. There's
who's on that? Just give me. I don't even know who's on this card. I just knew Anthony Smith.
Well, Derek Clark's on the card and Anthony Smith's on the card. Those two are both.
Yeah, they're good.
Proficient knockout artists.
Oh,
Jim Miller's on the card.
I wouldn't call Anthony Smith a knockout artist. I'd just call him durable and down to scrap.
But he hits you with a shot.
But it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
If you're not top.
No, he's not known for his knockout power, but he's known for his heart and his will.
He's minus 170 right now.
I believe it.
Shit.
Who else is on the card, Josh?
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller. Back, okay.
Yeah.
Legend.
He's 16. Holy shit, man. He's been there.
When's he just going to give it up, though, at the same time? Because Jim's been around for a long time. And
well, it's going to go back to the money thing. You're getting paid fucking what I make, pretty much.
Go box. Fuck. Who cares?
We got a German on the card.
German.
Boom is 6-0, fighting lip sync. Lipski.
What weight class
Flyweight.
is that? Flyweight.
Little boys here.
Okay, let me see. Wow. Okay. Who else is there?
We'll go down
to that lightweight fight. And that's and the rest are nobodies. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of nobodies. But up and
Mark
comers
Jackson.
possibly. Up and comers possibly. 6-1 Blanfield.
Yeah. He was
9-1.
God, I never heard that guy.
No.
Alright, cool. So we got UFC card. Let's talk about the boxing going down this week. I think Holyfield and Vitor I don't even really want to talk about because you all know what that's going to be. Garbage. Let's just call it what it is. Trash. But we get to see T Ortiz get punched out, so that's always fun.
Jake Paul shot down Woodley's rematch, puts focus on Tommy Fury.
Okay, well there's your answer about the Tommy Fury thing. Let's get it going, man. I think he beats the crap out of Jake Paul.
Belfort going after De La Hoya following Holyfield fight.
Look, man, I think Vitor is one of the only fights Vitor can win. I think De La Hoya picks his ass apart and beats his ass. I think this was probably the best thing that could ever happen to him. Honestly, I don't like De La Hoya. I think De La Hoya fighting Vitor is a huge cop-out. But let's just call it what it is. Vitor, what are you doing? You know? You can beat Evander Holyfield, and if you can't, then you probably should never fight anybody ever again. And even if you beat Evander Holyfield, you should probably still fight nobody ever again. What are you doing? I love you, but stop. Stop. You're good. Does it not drive you crazy, Josh?
It does.
Oscar's gonna beat this crap out of this dude, and it won't be close, and it'll be ugly, and it'll be the biggest cop-out ever because Oscar knows what's gonna happen. Oscar knows he's gonna beat him up, and he is just to get his name out. It sickens me.
Yeah.
It literally sickens me. This dude is such a slimy skis ball. There's nothing good about Oscar De La Hoya you can ever say other than he's a great boxer, and I'm never going to take that away from him. He is a great boxer. Even at 47, he will box a lot of these guys' lights out. If he were to seriously make a run, he might get to the title again. But make no mistake out of it, this guy is a scumbag. An absolute scumbag. And there's nobody I want to see fight Oscar De La Hoya because I just don't think he deserves a paycheck at this point in his career. What about you, Josh? A little harsh, huh?
Not really, but at the same time, it is.
I'm sorry.
It is combat. What happens if it goes the other way?
I guess it could, but at the same time,
and how often have you heard what Dana says? What's Dana always say about Hoya?
He's a scumbag. He's a good cokehead.
He's
a dumb.
Maybe he comes in high and he loses because he's fucked.
Maybe, but I just don't see it. I think he beats the shit out of these guys. I think he knows that just so he could flex his dick. This is all this is. It's just anyway. Anderson Silva versus T Ortiz will be at least compelling. We could say that. I think Anderson beats the crap out of him. I think he goes to the decision, but he just makes Tito look like an absolute amateur. Tito Ortiz is gonna.
You know what I could compare this to?
What?
Forrest Griffin knockout.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. That'd be funny. But I think this is gonna look like Anderson Gibb versus Jake Paul. But if Anderson Gibb was able to take a shot, because I don't think one shot like that's gonna take out Tito. However,
I don't think Silva possesses that kind of power either.
No, but I do think he's gonna outclass Tito. Like, did you
I
see?
think it's gonna be the Forrest Griffin. Like, you gotta think
he's
about
gonna
it, right?
beat the
Just
crap
pick
out
the
of him.
fucking shit out of him. Pick the shit out of him. And Forrest
Look
just
what he
gonna
did to
fall down.
Julio Chavez Jr., a guy that fought Canelo and was like a 7-time world champion in boxing. Like, I'm sorry, but after that, nobody wants to box. And anyone doesn't want to box Anderson Silva. You don't see any of these legends. Like, you don't see Oscar De La Hoya saying Anderson's name. Why not? Why not? Why do you want to fight Vitor when you got Anderson right there? Why? Because he just beat up one of the best world champions ever.
Okay.
And it was easy.
I got a question for you because
Go.
this one's kind of lingering on my head too. With if we're talking about this, how badly does Belfort lose to Holyfield? Because that, in my opinion,
I don't think Belfort loses to Holyfield. I'll say that. I think Holyfield looked crappy in that in that training video that I seen, like the open workout. Horrible. Scary. I think he's making a huge mistake.
you think he's too old to be doing this shit?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't think this is for everyone. I don't think everyone's Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking the guy because he's an absolute savage. What he's done is like amazing. He's a world champion and he's beaten Mike Tyson twice. Mike
Tyson said he's afraid of him.
Oh, I bet he is. He should be. Look at this shape of Mike Tyson's and look at what Holyfield looks like. Holyfield looks like he's 80. Tyson looks like he's 40. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference.
Well, no, Tyson said he was afraid of Holyfield.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think I can fight Holyfield again. Like,
Respect.
I'm afraid of him.
All respect, eh?
But at the same time, it's like, well.
I think you would kill him. I really do. I don't think that's a good idea.
Like, why the fuck did you fight Jones Jr.? Like,
I thought he beat the crap out. I will not beat the crap out. I thought he dominated Jones Jr. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like.
Surprisingly though, like you can't go in that fight thinking like, oh, these two old guys are Tyson's gonna pummel him. I thought like Jones Jr. had a chance to pick him apart. Like the head movement was there, but like he just didn't have the speed anymore.
People were comparing him to Buster Douglas if he would have done it, right? Like,
I wouldn't go that far. I thought like I thought there was a clearer path to victory for Roy Jones Jr. to win that fight than there was to Buster Douglas going in. Just because he has better footwork and he had more tools than Buster Douglas possesses. However, the speed was really hampering, and that's why he couldn't hold a candle to Tyson. He couldn't get inside because he just didn't have the speed anymore. He boxes with his hands down, which is normal. Our Roy Jones Jr. But at the same time, normal Roy Jones Jr. can like put a jab in your face out of nowhere, and you don't even see it coming.
Yeah. That
was not the case. Like he was very slow. And it's sad to see almost. You know what I mean?
It is, and at the same time, this is what happens with age.
Yeah.
Switching lanes to the young age, like a lot of talk too with the up and coming fights. Did you hear what Joshua said about Tyson Fury if he got the chance to actually fight him? He's like, I'll smoke that fool.
No, he won't.
He says it up just before he skydived or bungee jumped or whatever.
I think Tyson Fury or AJ would have a horrible time with Deontay Wilder. I think either Tyson or Deontay could run his shot like no problem.
They wanted, like all the promoters wanted Deontay Wilder to fight Joshua.
He ducked Deontay for so long. He offered him like $50 million to come to the States, guaranteed, and he wouldn't take it. And I'm just like, that's pussy shit.
Like all the promoters want. We get a new sub? I think we got a sub.
Hey, shut up. Anyway.
Thank you.
So AJ was like ducking him really bad. It was fucking embarrassing almost. And I think that there was a reason for that. Because Deontay...
He didn't possess enough star power, to say the least, I guess.
I wouldn't say that. I think he was just scared. I mean, like, he just hits like nobody else. And he actually can... Just think about this. If Andy Ruiz can land that shot, Can you imagine? Can you imagine what Deontay Wilder would do if he landed one of those haymakers from hell? Good night. I know. Ask Brazil how that would go. The guy that he floored in like 30 seconds. Yeah. Ask him.
Like.
Okay, but anyway, Caleb Plant versus Canelo. We're getting closer and closer and closer. I'm so excited for this fight. Who do you got and why? Give me a detailed breakdown. We've had this on the back burner. We've been kind of going back and forth a little bit. I want to hear your official prediction going in. It's a month away. Who you got? Why?
Canelo by 7th round KO because Caleb gets too ambitious. That's what I think. And you know what? No shot to Caleb or anything like that.
Oh, he's
He's
great.
a fucking warrior. But at the same time, you can't roll around in fish oil and then jump into the ocean and play with sharks.
That's a perfect way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it.
But in fighting, anything can happen, and Canelo could come out flat-footed, and Caleb could pick his ass apart.
Which he is known to do.
We could see Caleb's fine.
He's known to sit down on his punches. Yeah, no.
But we could also see him get really, really ambitious and try and go for the knockout because the fans are going to be fucking going wild.
So here's a funny thing. I thought Billy Joe was winning that fight. Right? I did. I thought the footwork was great. I thought he was working the jab. No, I'm not. No cap. I did think that he.
I'm not capping on that.
I thought he won. I thought he was winning.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
I really did think.
Shot was from.
Oh, it was hell, and that's what one shot can do to you. With that being said, Caleb Plant is very similar to Billy Joe Saunders, in terms of footwork and speed and how he approaches fights. Josh, I've been going back and forth on this for a long time. Because not a lot of people are giving the respect that's due, and maybe that's clouded my judgment just a little bit, and maybe I'm letting the fight fan in me take over this.
Take on to the underdog.
I really do like Caleb Plant in this fight, and I'll tell you why. Undefeated champ, looks great, has a great jab, who can footwork, and these are all Achilles' heels against Canelo. These are all things that gave him problems against Floyd Mayweather, and these are all things that gave him problems against Gennady Golovkin. So, like, don't tell me that there's not a path to victory for Caleb Plant. I do think Caleb can shot the world here. It's just a matter of executing that game plan. I mean, like, Billy Joe Saunders was executing that game plan, but you gotta go a step further than that. You really gotta be perfect with this guy. You can't really, like...
Well, you know
what
what
I mean?
Understand, too, like, Canelo balled up when he started in that Saunders fight, and when he started to ball up,
yeah.
It's kind of like a porcupine when you think about it. If you can get real close to a porcupine, and that's when they're going to fucking fire it off. You're going to see those spikes for a minute, and then they fuck...
One punch can change the fight in a Canelo fight. It's like Deontay Wilder almost, but a little less power.
It's, you know what? It's just the twitchy he has. Like,
yeah.
It's the word for it, too, is you get twitchy. When you're in there, it's like, if you're like, your brain tells your right hand to go, it's not even a...
I get you.
It's not even a brain telling it. It's just the muscles telling you to throw it. Your body senses the distance, and it's just get it out there as quick as you can, fast as you can.
Well, we got to get in a mark minute, so I'm going to tell you right now. I don't mean to cut you off, by the way.
You're good.
Caleb Plant, decision.
Decision?
That's what I'm leaning with right now. But I'm going to put an asterisk beside my pick. Maybe that's a little bit of a cop-out. Don't care. I think Caleb Plant has to... I think Caleb Plant can win by decision. However, the asterisk is if he doesn't get caught. And he has to fight perfect. Yeah. But which he has done in the past. So, like, it's not a stretch saying that he can't.
It's not a stretch at all.
But, like, this is the biggest fight of your career. So, like, the pressure's already on.
You gotta go 12 rounds and don't get caught.
Exactly. That's all you gotta do. Easier said than done, right? Yeah. But it's possible, and I'm going Caleb Plant. Mark minute. Let's do it. Because I'm excited for this. I always say it for last because I'm like a kid in the candy store at AEW these days. I love it. My wrestling vibe is going up and up and up, Josh. I told you about this a couple weeks ago.
We got that on video.
So I'm pumped about this. I've been thinking about it. 5-on-5 Survivor Series. Monday night. Winner gets Monday night. Let's just call it that. AEW versus WWE. Who you got and why? 5-on-5. Go.
You gotta give props where props is due. So I think the script would go to A&W.
Yeah, no. I think that maybe, but I'm talking about like pick, like teams. We'll get to the booking later, but like I want to know who would even be the teams that you represented.
Well, you gotta take the 5 best.
So
and you're gonna have to put CM Punk. You're gonna have to put Daniel Bryan.
Bryan Danielson now. Sorry.
Change.
Well, because WWE owns Daniel Bryan. His real name's Bryan Danielson. That's how he's wrestling now.
Also nice. Oh, this. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, still, same thing.
And honest to God, it sucks to say
Adam
this.
Cole's there now too. Kenny, Cody. You got a lot of options. Adam Page. I mean, like the Bucks. I hate the Bucks. So.
Yeah, no. I don't know about Cole though.
Hey, Adam Cole's.
I can't. I don't know who the third guy would be for AEW. But then you gotta put 2 women in there.
No, it can't be whoever has to be the guy. We could do because like it'd be guy versus guy, right? Because we could do what too. But yeah, I would.
Why couldn't you do 3-on-3 and then 2-on-2 at the same time though?
You can do that.
5-on-5 with 2 girls, 3 guys, 3 guys.
I'm not allowing it, but I'm not doing it, but I'll allow you to do it. Okay, who's your girls?
It'd just be like a.
Who your girls though? Who your girls? For AEW. It'd have to be the champ, right? Dr. Britt Breaker for sure. And you got like Penelope.
Yeah,
Rose,
but you gotta think
Jazz.
there might be a signing before Survivor Series, right?
Yeah. So.
You could pull somebody over.
Alright, what was the WWE team? Who you got? Captain, man, go. Number 1 guy for you right now. Who's that dude?
I think you pull him and you do Triple H.
Triple H.
I think you have to pull him out of the
Okay.
woodwork and say you're doing
Mr.
this.
COO.
You're doing
Get out of
this.
the office. Let's go.
Old Vince McMahon style with the fucking black. You imagine, bro? That'd be so
Rips
sick.
off the suit. Let's fucking do it. Okay, who else? Who else you got? You got Big Match John or what? You got the 5 moves of Death Cena or what? Huh? Mr. Movie Star? Huh? Daddy's home?
I didn't see that. You'd have to. It'd be Triple H, John Cena.
Goldberg's still there.
Isn't Edge back?
Your Edge is
And
back.
yeah, you go Edge. John Cena, Triple H.
Your girls,
I think you'd have to go with women's tag teams.
or you go Alexa Bliss. She's fucking over right now. That's that fucking crazy, creepy chick. But they just released Bray Wyatt, so that doesn't really make sense anymore anyway.
No, I'd go tag teams.
Yeah. Oh, fucking, I don't even know. Yeah. WWE's so
Makes
stupid.
sense.
Okay, anyway, my team's a little different. 5-on-5 men. It's gonna be bomb. Check this out. Team AEW. Captain CM Punk. That's 1. Bryan Danielson. Adam Cole, baby. I fucking love him, dude. I love that thing when he comes out and he just like shakes around a little. He's like, Adam Cole, baby. And the crowd, I love it. Dude, that's so, I'm marked out for him, dude. Like, I'm with that entrance. Anyway, Adam Cole. I'm going, you gotta put Kenny in there. Kenny and John Moxley. Boom! That's a fucking team, right? And I didn't even get the Darby. Like, I wanted to put Darby in there, but I just can't. Well, actually, nah, I'm keeping Adam. Sorry, Adam. Sorry, Darby. You're right there, dude. Like, he's so good. That match against CM Punk was so good, by the way. So good. Darby is a selling machine. He made CM Punk look $1 million. Like, I loved it. Like, he's so good. If you're wrestling Darby Allin, you're probably jizzing in your pants knowing that you're gonna get put over. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a big guy, especially wrestling Darby Allin, like, oh, he's gonna make me look so good. I'm gonna throw him like across the street. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. That dude's fucking awesome. I love Darby, and I'm sorry I couldn't put you in my 5-on-5 because you deserve it, dude. He's working his ass off over there. But Adam Cole's got a little bit more recognition. He's had a little bit better matches. He's a little more over with the fans. He's a talker. He doesn't need Sting. You know what I mean? Like, he's just his own thing. I love it. Well, actually, he's with the Elite now, but whatever, you know. He could be his own thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's my team. WWE. I'm acknowledging you, buddy. You're the captain. Acknowledged. Acknowledge him. Josh, you didn't even say his name. Roman fucking Reigns. the champ. Bobby Lashley, the champ. I'm talking, put Jimmy and Jay in there. Let's get the whole bloodline, baby. The Yosos. And then number 5, fifth guy to represent the WWE today. Let's really just think about that quick. Who's number 5? Who else could be number 5 other than... No, I'm not putting Triple H in. I'm not doing it. I ain't not putting Triple H in. I'm putting all the new stars over.
Fucking
And I'm going...
bro.
Damian Priest. New guy, new blood. He's way over with the fans. He's a great worker. Put him in there. Actually, you know what? Fuck him. The Miz. The Miz is the best worker in the business. Put the Miz in there with the fucking Usos and Bloodline, the whole deal. Bobby Lashley. I'm having a whole heel team. Let's get it. That's my 5 on 5. And I'm putting AEW over for Monday nights. Go to Tuesday, bitch. We out of here.
You think WWE would win?
No, I don't. I think I would put over AEW. Before we leave, I want to shout out to Bryan Danielson making a great debut. I loved the Adam Cole swerve joining the Elite. Did you see that? Oh, dude, it was awesome. I'll show it to you after the show. It's fucking hilarious. Like, fucking Kenny Omega was with the Elite, and he just fucking putting over himself, saying no one can fuck with him. And then, if you remember, he kicked Adam Cole out of the Bullet Club, like, all those years ago, right? When he went to WWE. Lights go out, dude. And then, all of a sudden, you hear, it's all about the boom! And then Adam Cole's fucking name pops up on the screen, and he just comes out, and then he, like, goes into the ring with all these heels, and everyone's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he kicks Jungle Boy in the face and joins the Elite. Heel. Right away. Loved it. And then Bryan Danielson comes in and makes a save for the Jurassic Express and saves Jungle Boy. Great. Right. That's it. Shout out AEW. I love what you're doing over there. Perfect. I love everything about it. CM Punk had a great match. Shout out Triple H. Hope you get well soon. He had some cardiac issues this week. He had to go surgery. Yeah, my cardiac arrest. No, not arrest, but a cardiac event is what they're calling it, yeah. So he's good, though. He's supposed to make a full recovery. Anything else you want to talk about, Josh? We've pretty much covered everything.
Nothing much other than tomorrow's got the picks day for footy.
Yeah.
We'll be on making the picks for football. The Imola show on the new episodes on Saturday night. We'll go live every night at 9. Do the picks for Sunday.
UFC tomorrow night. Watch that. I'll tune in, but I'm gonna be more. Such a lame night of fights, isn't it? Isn't it such a lame night of fights tomorrow?
It is.
You got like a boring ass UFC card with like literally next to nobody on it, and then you got fucking Vitor Belfort and Vander Holyfield and T Ortiz and Anderson Silva. What is this? Did you get these fighters the old age home? I don't know. Anyway, what a great show we just had. The banner's here. New era. I got the original UFC shirt. You probably can't see it. That's Josh Imola. I'm Rob Battler. Thanks for coming by. Shout out to Kelly Maloney. You can stream him on Spotify, and you're going to listen to him in 1, 3, 2. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Love.
We on the grind, ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Heavy day.